Well, it's about bloody time. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 longest video game release delays. For this list, we'll be looking at the longest breaks between initial announcement and eventual release. The overall quality of the finished product will not be a factor. We also won't be including rumors and speculation. We will only be counting the reveal itself, whether that be through official or unofficial means.
I'm willing to give him a chance at least for a little while longer. Especially if it means getting Andy and our friends back.
Number 10, Resident Evil 4, 6 years. Way back in December of 1999, Shinji Mikami officially revealed that a new Resident Evil game was in the works for the PlayStation 2. For context, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis was released on the original PlayStation less than 3 months before the announcement. However, the earliest version of the game was eventually morphed into Devil May Cry, and work began again at the end of 2001. At least 4 different versions of the game were created and scrapped when all was said and done, and Mikami eventually took over for director Hiroshi Shibata. Development finally had a clear vision under Mikami, and the highly acclaimed Resident Evil 4 was released on January 11, 2005, some 6 years from the original announcement.
Sorry.
Somehow I knew you'd say that, but it doesn't hurt to ask.
Number 9, LA Noire, 7 years.
We'll get a commendation if we crack this murder code.
You sure the homicide squad won't step in and take the collar?
Even if they do, we play along, and who knows, we might get bumped up a desk.
Team Bondi, a newly formed Australian developer, announced their first project in October 2003, which was going to be released for a next-generation Sony platform. And it wasn't until 2005 that we finally got the title, LA Noire.
Hey! What are you doing?
This leisurely pace would be a portent of things to come. Development of the game proved costly and difficult owing to the custom engine and the use of motion scan technology, a state-of-the-art piece of tech meant to replicate the expressions of a human face. We didn't receive the debut trailer until November 2010, and the game was finally released on May 17, 2011, more than 7 years after its initial and ambiguous announcement.
Hope you like work, kid. Bukowski sure as hell doesn't.
Well, that's why we are partners, right?
Okay, can it, guys.
Number 8, Galleon, 7 years.
The herd can make potions to harm as well as heal. Unless we stop him, he will turn my father's dream of good into evil.
Galleon was a pirate-themed video game developed by Tomb Raider's Toby Gard. Despite the promise and anticipation, it received relatively poor reviews and came and went without much fanfare. Which is disappointing considering it took 7 years to get it. Galleon was initially announced through Edge magazine back in 1997. The game suffered a troublesome development, including numerous delays, changes in console, and a shift of publisher from Interplay to SCI Games. Galleon was eventually released in Europe in June of 2004 and in North America the following August, a full 7 years after its announcement in Edge. Toby Gard's confounding factor quickly disbanded following the release of the game, and Gard went back to work on the Tomb Raider series.
Thank you.
Don't mention it.
Number 7, Darkfall, 7 years. In August 2001, Norwegian developer Razorwax simultaneously announced Darkfall Online and launched its official website. It wasn't until 2005 that a closed clan beta was planned, although this eventually fell through. What we got instead was a 1.5-minute long gameplay video release in February 2006, about 5.5 years after the game's initial announcement. Following more gameplay trailers and the announcement of a beta, Darkfall was released in Europe on February 26, 2009, 3 years after the first gameplay trailer. When it finally rolled around to North America the following July, it had been nearly 8 years since the initial announcement. Just 1 more month would have done it. Number 6, The Last Guardian, 8 years. The Last Guardian officially entered development in 2007, and it was leaked on PlayStation Lifestyle the following year with the working title Project Trico. However, the game wasn't officially announced until E3 2009, the Electronic Entertainment Expo where Sony showcased an improved render of the leaked footage. It was also announced that Sony was planning an ambitious 2011 release date. The game then suffered an agonizingly slow and troubling development, and it was eventually pushed back to the PlayStation 4. The game was finally reintroduced at E3 2015 and released in December of 2016. By then, it had been nearly 8 years since its existence was made known, and the finished product was frustrating to say the least. Number 5. Team Fortress 2, 8 years.
We did it, mate! Incoming!
The Team Fortress brand began back in 1996 as a Quake mod developed by Robin Walker and John Cook. Valve were so impressed by their product that they officially hired them on as employees, and work quickly began on an official standalone sequel. The product was unveiled at E3 1999, looking absolutely nothing like it does today.
Oh my God, who touched Sasha? All right. Who touched my gun?
Following years of silent development and endless speculation, it was reintroduced at the EA Summer Showcase in 2006, complete with its now signature Gooch-shaded animation style. It was eventually released as part of the Orange Box in October 2007, over 8 years from its official unveiling at E3 1999.
Some people think they can outsmart me. Maybe. Maybe.
Number 4. Too Human, 9 years.
Men of Midgard, we are on a vital mission to uphold justice.
Gonna be a rough trip.
Too Human was announced and officially unveiled in 1999, and it was scheduled for release on the original PlayStation. However, the game's development was fraught with difficulty and changing business dealings. Silicon Knights swapped from Sony to Nintendo and moved development over to the GameCube. They eventually swapped yet again to Microsoft and the Xbox 360.
3, 2, 1. Brace for impact.
Silicon Knights also abandoned development of the game to focus on other projects, including Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. After 9 years and upwards of $100 million, Too Human was finally released on August 19, 2008. And it was bad. Oh, and let's not forget that Silicon Knights was then disbanded after being sued by Epic Games.
Move.
Number 3. Final Fantasy 15, 10 years. This game began life as Final Fantasy Versus 13, which was revealed all the way back at E3 2006. However, the game's scope proved far too ambitious, and it was quickly redesigned into the next major entry in the series. It was officially rebranded as Final Fantasy 15 in 2012, a full 6 years after its E3 announcement. But there was still a long way to go.
All right. You do what you must for your people.
You're just like your father.
It was ported over to the new generation of consoles, the engine was changed to take advantage of the new hardware, and the staff underwent some major shuffling. The game was finally released on November 29, 2016, over 10 years after its radically different unveiling at E3 2006.
I need only know that you are ready to leave home behind.
Don't know about you, but I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Take care on the long road.
Number 2. Prey, 10 years. The original Prey was released in July of 2006, and it was such an immediate success that a sequel was announced the following August. What followed was one of the messiest development periods in gaming history. The IP rights were eventually transferred from 3D Realms to Bethesda's parent company ZeniMax Media, and rumors soon circulated that Arcane Studios had taken over development from Human Head. The rumors were seemingly confirmed in 2014 when Bethesda officially canceled the game and announced that they were rebooting the IP under Arcane. The reboot, simply titled Prey, was released on May 5th, 2017, more than 10 years after Prey 2 was announced. Want more video game content? Check out our gaming channel Mojo Plays and discover games and ideas you never knew existed. With more lists, breakdowns, and our latest series, Arcade Roulette.
Justin and John are in!
Oh.
Hey, is that Porky Pig? There's a lot of things being ripped off in this game.
Number 1. Duke Nukem Forever, as in it took forever for this game to come out. 14 years. This will forever remain firmly ingrained in gaming history, just not for the right reasons. Development of Duke Nukem Forever began back in 1996, the same year that Duke Nukem 3D was released, and George Broussard, the creator of the series, officially announced the title in April 1997.
Damn, I make this look good.
But following some initial promotional material, development went radio silent and fans began to slowly lose hope. The release date was pushed back, and back, and back. 2K Games finally revealed that the development was being completed by Gearbox, and the game was released on June 10th, 2011. 14 years after George Broussard announced its development back in 1997. The children born immediately after its announcement were now freshmen in high school. Oh, how time flies.
Hail to the king, baby.
What about the game, Duke? Was it any good?
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.